Okay, so mark your calendar. Monday, January 19th, 2026. We are headed to the Crypto.com arena for a primetime showdown.
The lights are always bright in Los Angeles.
Oh, they're blinding. The floor is polished, and you look up at that marquee and you see it. Toronto Raptors versus the Los Angeles Lakers. And you're sitting there maybe scrolling the standings, and you think, okay, this should be a good one.
It absolutely looks like it on paper, doesn't it? I mean, you've got the Raptors, who are sitting around 25-18, putting together a really surprisingly solid season.
Right?
And then you have the Lakers at 24-15, right there in that Western Conference meat grinder. It has all the makings of a really high-level playoff type game.
And this is why we're doing this deep dive.
Yeah.
We're not just reading you a box score.
Exactly.
If you tune in on Monday night expecting the usual highlight reel, you're going to be a little confused. The story of this game isn't really about the standings at all.
No, it's a story about survival.
It's a war of attrition. This whole matchup has become this massive collision of who is missing. So our mission today is to give you a survival guide for watching this game. We're breaking down how two playoff teams have to completely reinvent themselves when their main engines are, either stalling or missing entirely.
It's like watching a Formula One race where both cars have flat tires and we're just here to see who can drive on the rims better.
That's a perfect way to put it. So let's look at the track conditions here. Even with all this chaos we're about to get into, the odds makers aren't shying away.
They really aren't. I was deep in the predictive models this morning, looking at the ESPN analytics specifically.
Okay.
And even with everything we know, they still have the Lakers as a favorite. But it is razor thin. We're talking like a 53, maybe 54% chance of a win for LA.
So that's basically a coin flip with a little bit of home court advantage sprinkled on top.
That's all it is. In the NBA, home court usually gives you, a 3 or 4% swing? So if this game were in Toronto, the model just flips. It tells you that these teams, as they are right now, or as depleted as they are basically dead even.
And their history this season backs that up. They've traded wins. It's always tight. But okay, let's rip the Band-Aid off. We have to talk about the Lakers, and we have to talk about the massive hole in that lineup.
The Luka Doncic void.
It's huge. We know he's out with that groin injury, but I don't think people fully grasp how the entire Lakers architecture in 2026 is built around him. This isn't just a star player being out.
No, it's the entire system being out. I mean, think about that idea of heliocentric basketball. Everything revolves around the sun. Luka is their sun. He dictates the pace. He dictates what the defense has to go. He dictates who eats.
And he's so methodical. He just kind of lulls you to sleep with his pace.
Exactly. He plays jazz, but
Yeah.
You take him out of the equation, you're not just losing his points and assists, you're losing the guy who tells everyone else where to stand. The whole structure, it kind of collapses.
So normally you try to replace that production by committee, right? But the Lakers don't really have a backup Luka.
Well, no backup Luka, but they do have a king.
They do. It is just wild to me that in 2026, Plan B is still LeBron James.
It defies all logic, honestly. He's still averaging over 20 a game. His playmaking is elite. But here's the nuance people miss. LeBron operates so differently from Luka. The entire geometry of the court changes when he's running the show.
How so? Like, if I'm watching the game, what am I going to see that's different?
LeBron is more linear. He wants to get downhill, or he wants to hunt a specific mismatch and exploit it. Luka will dance with you for 15 seconds at the top of the key.
Yeah.
LeBron, at this point in his career, wants to get the easiest bucket possible, and he wants it now.
So does that mean they might actually play faster without Luka? That feels wrong.
Potentially much faster.
Yeah.
LeBron isn't going to pound the rock for 18 seconds. He wants to grab the board and go. He wants to catch the defense before it's set. So yeah, I expect the tempo to shift, maybe dramatically.
But here's the problem with the whole LeBron saves the day thing. He can't play all 48 minutes. And usually when he sits, you hand the keys over to your secondary guy.
Right. And this is where the wheels really start to wobble for them.
Because Austin Reeves is also out.
And that's the killer. Reeves being out is arguably just as damaging for this specific game because you have no bridge. He's the connector. He runs the offense when the stars sit, and he spots up when they play.
So who even brings the ball up the court when LeBron is on the bench?
It's going to be a committee, which is really just a nice way of saying chaos. You're going to see guys who are normally shooters trying to run a pick and roll. It could get ugly. And that puts all the pressure on LeBron to be hyper-efficient from the jump.
And to make matters worse, the front court is a question mark too. DeAndre Ayton and Jackson Hayes are both listed as questionable.
Which brings us to everyone's favorite phrase, small ball. If Ayton can't go and Hayes is out, the Lakers are suddenly tiny.
They're basically playing five wings out there.
Pretty much. And that forces you to play a completely different style of defense. You can't play drop coverage to protect the rim because, well, you don't have a rim protector. You have to switch everything.
Explain that for someone who hears switching all the time.
Yeah.
Why is that so much harder?
Well, when you switch, it just means you swap assignments on a screen. It requires constant, perfect communication. If two guys get it wrong for half a second, it's a wide-open layup. It is physically and mentally exhausting to do that for an entire game.
Okay, so the Lakers are small, fast, and leaning on the oldest guy in the league. That's L.A. Now let's look at the visitors. If the Lakers are driving on rims, the Raptors might be driving on the axle.
Oh, it's bleak. I was looking at their injury report, and it reads like their starting lineup from 2 months ago. It is just devastating.
What's the biggest loss for them structurally?
Structurally, it's Jakob Poeltl.
The Austrian hammer.
He's out with that back injury. And look, I know he's not the guy selling jerseys, but for the Raptors, he's the glue. He cleans up all the mistakes at the rim on defense, and on offense, he sets the screens that actually get guys open.
We talk about screen assists a lot. Poeltl is a master. Without him, those screens are just softer. The separation isn't there.
That's it, exactly. Without him, the Raptors guards, whoever's left, have to work twice as hard just to get a clean look. And speaking of guards, R.J. Barrett is out with an ankle injury.
That's 20 points a night, just gone.
Emmanuel Quickley, questionable. Jamison Battle, questionable. Garrett Temple, also questionable.
They're literally running out of bodies to put in a uniform.
The rotation is just decimated. The coach isn't looking down the bench thinking about matchups. He's looking down the bench and checking for a pulse.
So if the system is completely broken, they have to pivot to hero ball. Who are the heroes?
It all boils down to the Scotty Barnes and Brandon Ingram show.
The long boys.
The Wingspan brothers. And this is fascinating because their skill sets are a little bit redundant. They both like to operate from the mid-range. Now, they have to be the point guard and the center all at once.
That is a massive ask, especially for Scotty Barnes. We know he's a great passer and defender, but can he control an entire game for 40-plus minutes?
And that's the test, isn't it? With Paul by, Scotty might literally be their center on defense. He has to guard the rim, and then on the other end, he has to bring the ball up against pressure. The physical toll on him is going to be enormous.
And Brandon Ingram. He just has to be the bucket getter.
He has to be an efficient bucket getter. That's the key. Ingram can get his own shot whenever he wants, but the Lakers know that. They're going to load up on him, send doubles, and dare someone else on that Raptors roster to beat them.
So if Ingram and Barnes shoot like 30% from the field, Toronto gets blown out.
Guaranteed. There's no safety net. There's no bench unit coming in to spark a 10-0 run.
Okay, so we've got two incredibly depleted teams. Let's get tactical. What style of game does this even become?
It's small ball versus small ball.
Which sounds fun, in theory.
It sounds like pure, unadulterated chaos. See, normally the data says the Lakers have the offensive edge, but that data is full of Luka Doncic minutes. You have to just throw it out.
Right, can't use season averages here.
No. And then you look at Toronto, their identity is to muck it up. They're opportunistic. They want to force turnovers and make the game ugly.
They want a rock fight.
A rock fight in a mud pit. And with Poeltl out, they have zero rim protection, so they have to be aggressive on the perimeter. They have to trap and gamble for steals, because if they let LeBron get into the paint, it's over.
Which means a lot of transition opportunities.
Bingo. If Toronto gambles and misses, it's a Lakers layup. If they gamble and succeed, they get a layup. The pace of this game should be frantic. It's not going to be a chess match. It's going to be a scramble.
What about rebounding? If Ayton sits for L.A. and Poeltl is out for Toronto, who gets the ball?
That is the key mismatch nobody's talking about. It's going to come down to gang rebounding. You're going to see guards crashing the glass. And honestly, whoever wins the defensive glass probably wins this game.
Why is that the one key?
Because neither team is going to shoot the ball well.
Laughs. That's fair.
No, seriously. You're missing your best creators. The shot quality is going to be poor. You're going to see a lot of forced late clock jumpers. So there will be a ton of rebounds up for grabs. If the Lakers can secure them and run, they'll win. If Toronto can get on the offensive glass for extra possessions, they can steal it.
So forget the three-point line for a minute. Just watch the paint. Watch who's boxing out.
That is where this game will be won or lost. It's all about the effort stats.
Okay, let's give the listeners the checklist. I'm on my couch Monday night. What am I looking for from Toronto to pull off this upset?
For Toronto, number one is control the chaos. They have to create turnovers, but they absolutely cannot commit them. If they get sloppy, LeBron will just destroy them in transition.
So only run when it's a sure thing.
Exactly. Number two, efficiency from the stars. Scotty Barnes can't have a 6 for 22 night. He has to use his size, attack the rim, and get to the line. He has to realize he might be the biggest guy on the court and just play bully ball.
Bully ball.
Yeah.
I like it. And for the Lakers, what's their path?
It starts and ends with the superstar factor. It's not just about LeBron scoring. He has to be the adult in the room. When the offense stalls, which it will, he has to manufacture a good shot for somebody.
He has to be the quarterback.
He has to be Tom Brady, see the blitz coming, and find the open man. And the second key, the next man up has to actually show up.
Who are we looking at there? Max Christie? Maybe the rookie Dalton Neck.
Dalton Necht is a great call. If he can hit 3 or 4 catch-and-shoot threes, that could break the Raptors' defense. They're going to pack the paint to stop LeBron. Somebody has to make them pay from the outside.
It really feels like one of those games where some random role player scores 18 points and is the hero of the night.
It absolutely is. The Dalton Necht game is a very, very real possibility on Monday.
All right, prediction time. The model says 53% Lakers. After talking through all this tactical mess, are you sticking with LA?
I am, but with very, very low confidence. I think the Lakers edge it out for 2 reasons. One, home court. The role players we just mentioned, they just shoot better at home. It's a fact.
And reason number 2.
LeBron James versus Scotty Barnes in the last 2 minutes of a close game. I just trust LeBron's decision-making more than a young, chaotic Raptors team that's missing its vets.
Experience wins out in the end.
Experience and execution. LeBron will find the mismatch he wants. Scotty might try to do a little too much.
That's a fair take. It's going to be ugly, it's going to be fast, and it's probably coming down to one possession.
A classic mid-season grinded-out game.
Before we go, I want to leave you with a final thought. We always talk about system versus stars in the NBA, right?
The eternal debate.
Well, Monday night is the ultimate stress test for that idea. Because the overwhelming talent is gone. Luke is gone. The key structural pieces, like Poltrell, are gone. So what are we actually watching?
We're watching organizational resilience.
Exactly. Are we going to learn which coaching staff is better at adapting on the fly? Or does it just prove that this is a stars league, and without the stars, the whole thing just becomes a scramble?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Do we find out who has the better system, or do we just learn that the system doesn't matter if you don't have the guys?
It's a fascinating way to watch the game. Don't just follow the ball. Watch the spacing, watch the confusion, and see who's actually communicating when everything breaks down.
It's going to be a wild one.
Indeed. All right, that's going to do it for this deep dive. Make sure you tune in Monday, January 19th, Raptors, Lakers, Crypto.com Arena. It's going to be survival of the fittest.
Enjoy the chaos.
We'll see you next time.